y'all, it's Edem with Global Abundance LLC, back with another video. Thanks for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, if you are already part of the family, hey, thanks for stopping by. On this channel, we talk about all things real estate, residential and commercial, and a little bit of financial literacy and personal development sprinkled in on top. It's for good measure. So that's what we're about here. If you find value in this content here, go ahead, like, share, subscribe. Uh, Today's video is going to be about, lessons that I've learned in business. Before we get involved, though, we do have a free VIP group that is a group of investors and like-minded individuals like yourself that swap information about what's happening right now in the industry, what's working, what's not working, and answer the tough questions. So we're a community of like-minded individuals, and we're constantly learning and growing together. So if you'd like to be a part of that, go ahead and you'll find the link in the description. Go ahead and click that and join. It's free. So move on back into what today's topic is, and it's lessons that I learned in business. And the main things is knowing yourself. How well do you know yourself? How much time have you spent taking the time to, know what your why is, why you're doing what you're doing, and the habits that you've, accumulated, what success habits do you have that you could say are part of the reason why you are able to accomplish what you accomplish faster, and what are the things that, are holding you back. That's probably one of the top things that I've learned is to, focus my attention in and figure out where I'm coming from and know myself so I can serve better. Probably the most important thing, constantly doing it, constantly checking in with myself, constantly, having internal dialogues with myself about how I'm showing up, what I'm doing, what I felt I may have did wrong, mistakes that I've made, wins that I've had, and what I did to get to that win, and something I do every day. So that's probably number one. Number two is, you don't plan to fail, you fail to plan, right? And this kind of just goes back to not knowing what your why is, not having a real destination, and just kind of just going with the flow. I get it. There's times where you just go with it, but going with it can also take you to a place where you don't really want to be at, right? So you need to have a plan before you move forward with anything, because if you don't, plan, you don't fail to plan. You plan to fail. Nobody goes into anything assuming that they're going to lose and, everything's going to fall apart. But a lot of times it does, because there wasn't any original plan of action, which would give you things to do if things didn't work out. Hey, based on the plan, what are some of the things that could go wrong here? You know what I mean? When I'm putting a plan together, I'm looking at what are some of the things that could go wrong, and if that thing was to happen, okay, what are my solutions there? Okay, how do I avoid that? Okay, and getting that in place before I move forward, so I can avoid those things. Now, naturally, there's things that I'm just not gonna know based on possibly being in an unknown industry, or when I first started off in real estate, there was a whole lot of unknowns. So I couldn't say that I had the right plan for every single situation that came up because I was new to it, didn't know what I know now. So that's something that one of the major lessons that I've learned is that, you don't plan to fail, you fail to plan. Another thing is, if you quit, you die. Let me just tell it like it is. You know what I mean? We can always pivot and still get to that end goal. But once you quit, it's over with. Once you quit, it's over with. If you quit, you die. So I'm not a quitter. I'm not somebody that's gonna just quit and just stop playing. I'm going to keep pushing and striving forward and looking for ways I can improvise and still get to that end goal that I originally planned in the beginning to get to. So, that's a lesson that I've learned. If you quit, you die. Uh, Another lesson is, to have your head down with horse blinders. And what do I mean by that? I mean, once again, everything, if you're following me here, you're noticing everything is kind of flowing with each other. Head down with horse blinders. What does that mean? That means I'm laser focused on what I'm doing when I'm doing that. I'm, we all have juggler syndrome where we try to juggle a bunch of things at one time, but realistically, we can only master one thing at a time. Then once we've got that thing mastered, then we can move on to the next thing and master that. So I've learned that it's best to, when getting started in something, is to put my head down and have those horse blinders on, and, if you notice a horse and carriage and that horse, just has those blinders, all they can see is straight ahead. They can't see to the side. You know what I mean? And that's where those distractions come in. So that's something that I've learned is important for me, especially, is to just put my head down. And once I've committed and decided to go a certain route, I'm going that route and putting my head down and moving forward. And it brings me to my last thing, which is shiny object syndrome, killing momentum. And I think we've all can agree as well that whatever business you in, real estate, whatever you got going on, having that shiny object syndrome when you're constantly like getting excited with all the new gadgets and toys and everything that's coming out and not focusing on what's right there in front of you. A lot of times you can kill your momentum. You can, lose the opportunity to use the assets and the things that you have right there in front of you right then, because you're so focused on everything else that's catching your eye. So I've learned that it's important to back to the head down with horse blinders, so I'm not, ooh, wow, that looks sparkly, and ooh, look at that, and ooh, let me jump on this. It's not going to work for me. So that's some of the lessons I've learned. Knowing myself, having a plan so I don't fail, uh, knowing that if I quit, it's over with. I'm going to die. Uh, Head down with horse blinders, and knowing that shiny object syndrome will kill your momentum. So just a couple lessons that I've learned personally in the various businesses that I've had, and real estate as well. Um, and, kind of just wanted to share that with y'all today. So hope you found this information useful. As always, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to engage and see where you're coming from, where your perspective is, and where your mindset is. So go ahead and jump in those comments below. Leave me a comment. Leave me some feedback. Leave me, some of your experiences. Leave me some of the lessons that you've learned in your business. Some of the failures you've had, some of the successes. I want to hear about it so we can have a conversation, a dialogue, and talk about it. All right. So as always, as well, if you found value, you know what to do. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Don't forget about our free community. We'd love to have you there. So go ahead, click that link in the description below if you want to join. And until next time, happy investing. And, hey, do your best. All right.